Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. Glad to have you with us this week. We got a great show because it's going to be talking about Reno's 150th birthday. And we have the folks here from the city to talk to us about it. We'll be right back with the whole story right after this.
Let's face it, flooding is a fact of life. You may not be able to predict, but you can always prepare to avoid losses to structures, land, and even lives. Traditional protection like sandbags many times don't work. The new solution, trap bag flood and erosion systems. Low cost, great support, high stability, and load capacity. Easy to store and move with quick and easy installation. Protect your life, home, business, or land. For more information on this revolutionary flood and erosion system, contact Trap Bag today.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle, we're the biker's bike shop.
Welcome, everybody, to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show, and my good sidekick, Uroy Marshall. We're finally back together, Uroy, after a couple of weeks.
How's it been going?
You've been on vacation. I've been on vacation. And
yeah.
Here we are, back together. Great.
Well, we're doing fun.
Glad we are here today because we have some great guests. We have
you betcha. Yeah,
Bob.
We're going to talk about the history of a town instead of the history of a family. Which
that's right.
It's a little different, but it's the same thing. We're all a family here.
That's right. That's the way we want Reno to be,
brothers
right?
and sisters.
One big family,
One
for
big
sure.
Family. There you go.
Our special guest today is our councilman at large, Bob Bobson. And Bob, welcome to the show. David, sorry. I
See, I made you do that.
Yeah, you did. You told me that off air. David Bobson is our councilman at large and very involved in sesquicentennial.
That's right.
That we're looking forward to, May 9th next year. Yep. And in fact, the festivities have already started, May 9th of this year.
It's a year-long party.
Year-long party. And along with us today is Alexis Hill, and she is the one who takes care of all the arts and culture and events manager here for the city. And I bet you a lot of folks didn't even know that we have that kind of person here in the city.
Yes, I think that shows the priority that the City Council has for arts and culture and events, for quality of life in our community, and to continue on the history even that we're talking about today in the city of Reno. Yeah,
and that's kind of our mission too. It is our mission for the show. We always ask you, Roy, to tell us why we do the show, but certainly our paths match very well about preservation of history and so on.
This state has a great pride in the United States for its history because of after the Civil War, the state was totally broke, and the United States was totally broke, and the area had not been formed yet. So basically, the Comstock miners donated the $8.5–9 million that paid off France, Germany, and England. Otherwise, we probably would have been France, Germany, and England.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was one thing that happened here that's been wonderful, and another thing has been the development of the dollar.
Yeah.
The dollar has become a world monetary unit, and the fact that the first ones were made in Carson City from Comstock silver ore is a fascinating topic, and we mine that type of material, and we've made the discovery of very large resources of platinum in the state of Nevada.
Yeah, that's huge because a lot of rumors about that over the years, and people have doubted the fact that there's platinum up there in the Comstock, but now it's been verified, right? You, Roy?
Yeah,
you've actually.
I got some right here in my pocket.
You got some right there in your pocket. Okay.
Yeah,
that's what Uroy does. He carries around gold and silver.
There you go. See, now that's granite.
Yeah.
But you can see the other silvery-looking mineral that's in there.
And that's the platinum.
And that's the platinum.
Isn't that something? Yeah. Wow.
And very similar minerals occur in meteorites that are found in the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
Most of the ore that is here came from because of meteorites.
Yeah. Roy has a great museum up there at the Marshall Mint on C Street. If you want to see some of this raw material, he has it all displayed out there. So check it out up at the Marshall Mint. And while you're up there, stay at the Silverland Inn and Suites, right?
There you go.
That's open full time, right?
Love to have some business. You betcha.
That's open full time now.
Yeah.
Monday through. Yeah. Okay. It's off the winter hours finally.
Yeah.
A long winter up
68 rooms and a number of whirlpool baths in there, and good place to take your honey.
Yeah. And the reservation number is 847-4484.
Yeah,
How about that? I remembered that. Well, let's talk to you two because we have the sesquicentennial coming our way. Reno was established way back when, May of 1868, right, David?
That's right.
That's right. And you are kind of the driving force for that particular celebration. We're going to spend some time talking about that in detail. But I do want to talk with you, Alexis, about what you do for the city. There are many things that are going to happen that you are involved with, and we look forward to the summer. And I know our time is short with you today, so I wanted to get to you a little bit, and you can tell us what some great things that we can look forward to as far as Reno is concerned that are going to be great for us to take part in.
Well, what's really exciting is that the city of Reno has more than 280 events for an entire year.
Really?
So in our parks and on our streets, we have events from, the car events from Hot August Nights to Street Vibrations in September. And then we have just River Festival that just occurred in the city.
Huge.
And, Earth Day, one of the biggest years we've ever had of that event.
Yeah.
And so we see these events as driving a reason to live in Reno. There's always something happening.
Right.
And also to drive tourism so that people will want to come to Reno and see all the interesting things that we have going on in our downtown.
It's really diversified, hasn't it? Because it used to be gaming and entertainment. Well, that was a big draw. But now a lot of states have the very same thing that we have. So we have to go beyond that. And I think that's one of the great things about people in Reno and the government itself is that we have been creative and we're trying new things. So tell us.
We are. I think that what's really fun about Reno too is that we have a lot of public art. Many people don't know how much public art we have, and now we do art tours of the different public art. We have a lot of Burning Man pieces in the city of Reno.
I saw that. Yeah.
The Nevada Museum of Art was the very first museum to even buy a piece of Burning Man art. So we're really trying to hang our hat on that as well,
Sure.
in addition to all of the events that you can come down to Wingfield Park or Idlewild Park or Virginia Street on any given weekend, and you'll go to a multitude of interesting, fun, entertaining events downtown.
Now, are most of the events focused on the downtown area to bring the tourists to downtown? Because there's other centers around the city that could use, crowds and tourism as well. Have you thought about, going outside the box, like they say?
We do. We try to reward promoters for going outside of downtown, because downtown, it does have a lot of activity. However, downtown is a priority for the city council. We really want people to go downtown to see the arch and to see, experience all the different things that we have going on downtown. So it's a balance that we try to strike. But yes, we do. We reward people for going in the South Meadows or other parts of town.
Sure. Because I know a lot of the casinos out on Virginia Street and the shopping centers are upgrading their look and providing more parking and this, that, and the other thing. So it would be nice and in some ways easier for some events to be in those outlying areas of Reno. But so people get them moving around, because I live in the south part of Reno, have been for many years, and I talk to people and they say, I don't get uptown very much, I don't get downtown very much, so it's good to have them there and then put some other places. So what are some new events that we can look forward to perhaps that are going to be great?
We are looking at doing some midweek concerts downtown. Yeah. So you'll be hearing more about that. We're calling it Live After 5, and it's an initiative for the city to get more people downtown midweek. But many of our events are continually changing and trying to keep up with the times. So adding new elements. So we have Hot August Night Spring event this weekend. We have the Spring Street Vibrations coming up.
Right.
That same weekend, we have a Slide the City, which is a giant slide that goes down Ralston Street. If you can believe it, you just slide down. So, I mean, there's a myriad of things that you can do from now until October. We also work with the university, and they do their homecoming parade, which is March from the Arts, and people get to just march from the arch all the way up to the university.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I have to say, downtown seems to be coming back to life. You know, some of those old buildings, like, what was that one over there off of West Street? It's
El Cortez.
El Cortez, but there was that one real ugly one. It was a casino hotel, and they just turned it into condos of some sort.
Oh, when the Flamingo came back.
The Flamingo came back, but there was this one that's only about 4 stories high. You know which one I'm talking about.
The King's Inn.
King's Inn, yeah. They've done some great things. So the atmosphere downtown seems to be better. You know, the ambiance is better. People can feel pretty safe down there.
Right. We have a Patagonia outlet downtown now. The basement of the post office has been completely redeveloped.
Yeah.
So there is shopping to do beyond the events. Where, you know, I know that the community is really focusing on how do we keep people downtown.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Isn't that what you're focused on, David? Is to make it more of a residential kind of a walk-through kind of area where there's shopping, and Midtown is a lot about that, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Getting that better mix so that it's not just known for gaming, which is still going to be an enterprise that we have downtown, but as Alexis said, there's shopping, there's restaurants, there's food. I mean, I think after our Reno 150 kickoff the other Tuesday night that we had, you know, my family and I, we went out to try to find a table for dinner. And we had, you know, times to wait. We had to wait 30 minutes to get a table on a Tuesday night in downtown Reno. So it was just fantastic.
There is a plethora of restaurants down between Midtown and downtown anymore. It's hard to choose. And you know, on the backside of Midtown, it's like, I forget what street it is, but there's the Brazier. Are you familiar?
The Brasserie?
Yeah, Brasserie, and some of those restaurants
on Center Street there.
Yeah. So it's hard to, you know, choose where to go.
Yeah, I think the food scene has really put Reno back on the map too, and that's helped with all of the other things, the retail and everything else, because people are starting to take notice in the Bay Area and other areas. Yeah.
Now, a lot of your work too focuses on history too, doesn't it? When you talk about culture, I guess that's
yes. Well, that's the exciting part, is that Councilman Bob Zine is on the Historical Resource Commission, and their whole purpose is to make sure that we're preserving buildings in our community. And
I was wondering, I wanted to ask you guys, is there a Reno Town Museum or a Reno museum? I know is there a Washoe County museum? Or
well, it's something that we're actually in some conversations about, is looking at some locations possibly downtown where we can in this year as
holding the stuff you guys have.
Well, there's scattered collections, and there's lots of different resources out there that could possibly be brought together, but there are some conversations that we're looking at trying to bring that downtown.
I know Robert Cashel he has a bunch of old stuff from Reno.
I'm sure.
Well, there's a lot of things that are out there that if we could bring it together, would be.
It's better to leave them to some entity. After he passes, and to have him hold on to the stuff in his house.
Yes, put it down in the basement somewhere in the vault, right? That's for sure. Well, listen, we're going to take a break here, but Alexis, we know you have to leave because you got to get back to work, right? On those events and culture and everything else. So thank you for filling us in on what you're doing, and we're going to carry on and talk about the 150th in particular after we come back from this break. So stay tuned.
Buy Nevada First Gift Shop and Visitor Center at the Reno Town Mall is the place to buy local Nevada-owned products. There is over 4,000 square feet of unique items to choose from. Art, jewelry, books, music, inventions, clothing, candy, pottery, toys, even Nevada-made wine and more. Why, you can even purchase a gift basket full of Nevada-owned products. Buy Nevada First Gift Shop, located at the Reno Town Mall, 4001 Virginia Street in Reno. Buy local first.
Hi, I'm Paula.
And I'm Dan. We're the producers of the Tanner's Marketplace Antiques and Craft Shows at the Livestock Event Center on Wells Avenue.
I'd also like to tell you about our everyday location. We're at Somewhere in Time on South Virginia Street. We're Antique Antiques, booth number 46.
You'll find paintings by Nevada artists, collectible glass, vintage jewelry, Native American jewelry and baskets, antiques and unusual to unique items.
Find it all at Antique Antiques inside Somewhere in Time at 1313 South Virginia Street.
Come see us!
For your spring and summer wardrobe, soft pastels have arrived at Boutique Elegante. Wonderful sweaters, tunics, and capris create that special look. Bold and bright, the colors of summer in fabulous combinations of red, navy, white, or black. Beautiful chiffon skirts with coordinating tops. Imagine these fashions at your patio party, a day at the lake, or on a cruise. This and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
Hi, I'm Chris from Past Time at Somewhere in Time. Are you looking for that one-of-a-kind gift that you can't find in the big department store? I have something for all occasions. Got stuff? Need to know whether or not it has value or how to sell it? We can help with that too. Come and see me Tuesday or Wednesday at Past Time in Somewhere in Time at 1313 South Virginia Street in Reno. Just ask for Chris.
All right, we're back here in Old Tales of Nevada, past and present, and with us as our special guest today is our councilman at large, David Bob Zine, and we appreciate you being with us, David. And what a great event we have kicked off for us. May 9th, which is a week or two ago, we had the kickoff for the 150th anniversary of Reno, its birth, and you were there, and we had a lot of people there, actually.
It's a year-long celebration. It was great to have something midweek downtown, and it was packed. I mean, we had great weather. Lots of folks came down, saw people that I hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It was a great.
It just wasn't city employees. It was
not at all. Yeah,
there were actual residents that were there.
Absolutely, and it was great cross section.
And you had now next year is the 150th. So this year,
this is the 149th.
149. So we've got a whole year of celebrations leading up to a big party that we'll do next May. We're in discussions with Greater Nevada Field about doing something there.
Wonderful.
So an even bigger party.
Fireworks and everything.
Could be. Well, stay tuned.
Why not?
That's right.
Have the whole community come down, huh?
Right.
Wouldn't that be great, huh?
Yep.
So what was the genesis of all of this? A lot of communities have one anniversary after another, and they don't do much about it. What generated the idea for the 150th or sesquicentennial, to be correct?
The thinking was, coming right off of the Nevada 150 that we had, and remembering the good experiences that everyone had with that. October of 2015, we started having discussions about, we have a date coming up for Reno. We need to start planning and doing this now.
Right.
There is a template, again, for doing this, similar to what Nevada did,
right.
Where we can look at a whole series of events to celebrate the sesquicentennial. It's great that we get to say that word again and again. But a big part of it that I wanted to pursue, and with staff's help and with others coming together, this Reno People Project, taking a look at 150 people that have made a difference in Reno's history, whether it's living, whether it's at the beginning of the community. And so we released our first round of honorees at the opening.
Yeah, who were some of those? Do you recall?
Well, it was everyone from Chief Truckee to we recognized First Lady Kathleen Sandoval.
Right.
We had Dolores Feemster, longtime advocate in our community.
Right.
We had Senator Bill Raggio. So in most cases, and this is what was wonderful about it, we had some of those folks who are still with us that were able to join us for the afternoon.
Yeah, that's great.
And in other situations, we had family members. So the late senator's wife, Dale, was able to join us for that. And so it was great because I think as people watch the names as they're released sort of in batches over the coming year. Over the coming year, you'll see a lot of familiar names and people that you know their story, but you'll hopefully see some new folks that you hadn't thought of before.
Right. Because we are full of those kind of people here in town.
Absolutely.
They're just great contributors to the community. It brings us pride to have them here. We have a lot of them on the show, actually, whether entrepreneurs or activists. But what a story they can tell.
Absolutely.
And they impact not only Reno, but some of them impact the world. It's pretty amazing. Even you, Roy, here.
And any of them that you come across that you think we ought to do, don't hesitate to mention it to us.
That's good. We could do another.
Family was a very important early family here. They were my attorneys when I moved out here.
Okay.
Paul Laxalt.
Sure. The Laxalt family, sure.
President of the United States.
Yeah.
So, David, tell me, what's the mission that you have in mind for doing all this? This is a big undertaking to put all these events together and
You only turn 150 once, and Reno is certainly a community. I mean, Nevada and Reno in particular that has had its chapters in history, where it's rewritten its history in these ready intervals. So whether it's gaming, whether it was the divorce capital, and now with our emphasis on technology and economic diversification, we've got a great story to tell. We're in a great period of time. Sure. It's a great time to be in Reno, but now is exactly the time when we should take stock and look back.
Why not?
Celebrate how we got to where we are today.
In fact, where you had your kickoff for the 149th, that was right there where it all started.
That's true.
Myron Lake.
Right there at Lakes Crossing. It was great. We had Myron Lake was with us. We had some help on the historical interpretation front with Myron being there. So it's a journey that we're on this year, and it'll be wonderful to
so we're trying to build pride in our residents about what a special place Reno has been and is and will be.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to do. So your events are going to be directed that way. Everything's going to have that kind of historical.
Yeah, and a lot of it though also is we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, and certainly we don't have endless resources to spend on this celebration. But we are looking. We've been partnering with other existing events, so I think you'll see some of the usual events in our special events calendar that will feature Reno 150 as part of it. So whether it's the Veterans Day parade this November, whether it's the holiday tree lighting, you'll see Reno 150 as a theme through all of those. But then again, of course, we are doing a big party next year.
That's going to be huge.
Wrap it all up.
That's right. So are you inviting the public to come to you and say, hey, listen, I'd like to do this historical event, or I'd like to put on a festival? Are you open for that kind of thing?
Absolutely. We're open to that. And then also back to the Reno People Project, we're also still looking for nominations. So that is also a very community-driven.
How do they do that?
On our website, reno.gov, we do have a Reno People section of that site where you can just go online and submit some basic details about someone that you think is important to Reno's development, and go from there.
Now, a lot of our folks that watch the show and they talk with us when we have our get-togethers, they have artifacts, they have either written material or actual articles from way back when Reno was just getting started. Are you going to have any kind of displays like that where they could offer those kind of things
to
for
attract that from the people,
public viewing?
There are certainly we have our partners that were a lot of them were present at the kickoff that are doing a lot of that. We have some discussions about how we can use this year to maybe get
Neil
a handle
Cobb
on
has a whole bunch of stuff. We know that.
There's another one.
Sure.
There's another one. I mean, we would love to. I would love to see at some point a downtown presence where those sorts of materials can be put on displays, where you can have interpretive exhibits that talk about Reno's history. But,
well, you have some structures. You have like the Discovery Museum. You have the Lake Mansion. You have places where you could actually, bring in some displays from private citizens that would be there for a month or so, and that would be kind of cool to draw them out of those basements and those closets and those shoe boxes that they have them stored in.
Get people thinking about it's time to go through their stuff.
We find on the show that we get people on the show who have these tremendous stories that nobody's ever heard because they've never written a book, never done a TV show. So, it's like a hidden treasure.
Yep.
And if we could just draw that out, from the folks here in Reno who've been here forever, and show that off, what a difference that might make with people and the way they feel about the area.
Yep. Well, and I think we all, and people are very willing to do this. Yeah. We should all share what our stories are, what our experiences are. I mean, and for myself, and I have I guess my interest in the Reno 150 is the fact that this month, May, will mark 20 years that I've been in this community. Yeah. So like so many others that live here now, I'm a relative newcomer. Right. And so it's been fascinating for me to get this history and learn so much about the community that I've decided to call my home. Right. And I think so many people are very appreciative of the folks that have been here for so long and do have those stories to
You
tell.
were born in Washington, D.C.
Born in Washington,
You had
D.C.
the Lincoln Memorial there.
Grew up in Northern Virginia, and certainly was surrounded by history growing up.
Did you carry that out of there with you? Your interest in government, your interest in history?
I think in a lot of ways I did, but when I headed west as a young man, certainly understanding that history, and I've always had that appreciation for it, and have found that Reno and Nevada is so rich with that.
Absolutely.
It's just the beginnings. Yeah, you found a good place to go.
That's right.
That was you, Roy, when he came to town.
Beginnings.
Roy's a Texan, and Texans have a lot of pride in Texas.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of pride.
And he came up and saw that, what you mentioned, that people come from different parts of the country. They don't know much about Nevada, except that they did casinos here, and they had the testing over there, the atomic testing. Sure. And they tend to stereotype Nevada for those things, right? Mm-hmm. But we've done so many more things here, and that's why we do the show.
There's a prehistoric era here, too, which has been rather poorly composed. 700-800 years ago, we'd be sitting on the edge of the Truckee River. I'd be right out in front of it, probably.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think you're in government at a great time for Reno, because we're past that terrible time that started in 2008, where things absolutely stopped.
Right.
It was amazing to see, because I've been here since '86, and Reno was always so progressive, and always on the move, and then all of a sudden it just like time warp stopped. Yep. And now we're back on it again. And I imagine the finances for the city are pretty decent right now, huh?
They're better. We still have our challenges. People sort of assume that we're flush with dough because of the economy and recovery, but we're looking at a flat budget right now. We still have some issues. We've seen some sales tax increases that have happened, but we're still being very lean. And I think, if anything, there was much to be learned during that contraction that's carried over and kind of put us in a more conservative position when it comes to our
Maybe
finances.
You don't need as much bureaucracy as what you had before.
We were not intent to just build it all right back up. And it was the contraction that people went through, started in 2008. I was serving in the legislature, so I was front row seat to all the budget cuts that had to happen at the state level. I think all across Nevada. Folks,
and whether you're Democrat or Republican, it was good to do. Hey, listen, we're going to take a break, David, and then we're going to come back and get into more detail about our sesquicentennial.
All right.
And we'd love to talk about that here on Old Tales of Nevada, Past and Present. So stay tuned. Listen to a couple of messages from our great sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. A store full of the unexpected, with one of the largest beer and sports memorabilia collections on the West Coast. Vintage toys, casino and brothel memorabilia, Venton glassware, kerosene lamps from the 1800s, sun purple glassware, vintage neon, new and enlarged collections throughout the store. Have fun with the whole family and check out all the inventory in the store. Find the unexpected that'll be treasured for all time at Somewhere in Time. Let's face it, flooding is a fact of life. You may not be able to predict, but you can always prepare to avoid losses to structures, land, and even lives. Traditional protection like sandbags many times don't work. The new solution, trap bag flood and erosion systems. Low cost, great support, high stability, and load capacity. Easy to store and move with quick and easy installation. Protect your life, home, business, or land. For more information on this revolutionary flood and erosion system, contact Trap Bag today.
Hi, I'm Paula.
And I'm Dan. We're the producers of the Tanner's Marketplace Antiques and Craft Shows at the Livestock Event Center on Wells Avenue.
I'd also like to tell you about our everyday location. We're at Somewhere in Time on South Virginia Street. We're Antique Antiques, booth number 46.
You'll find paintings by Nevada artists, collectible glass, vintage jewelry, Native American jewelry and baskets, antiques and unusual to unique items.
Find it all at Antique Antiques inside Somewhere in Time at 1313 South Virginia Street.
Come see us.
Hi, I'm Hugh Roy Marshall from the Marshall Mint, Virginia City and Reno, Nevada. Come to introduce you to the Let 'em Run Wild Horse Mustang series, which depicts the Wild Mustangs herd running free, mare and its foal, the Wild Mustangs fighting for love. These ingots are a limited edition double-struck product on 1 troy ounce 3-pine silver and are only available at the Marshall Mint, Virginia City or Reno, Nevada. Get your piece of history today.
For your spring and summer wardrobe, soft pastels have arrived at Boutique Elegante. Wonderful sweaters, tunics, and capris create that special look. Bold and bright, the colors of summer in fabulous combinations of red, navy, white, or black. Beautiful chiffon skirts with coordinating tops. Imagine these fashions at your patio party, a day at the lake, or on a cruise. This and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
Welcome back to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. This is our third segment, and always like to take a moment to remind everybody who we are. I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show, and we have Roy Marshall, who is our great buddy, benefactor for many years on the show. This is our 256th show.
That's great.
Roy, on TV, not counting radio. Mm-hmm. So we've brought a lot of stories here to Old Tales of Nevada, and a lot of knowledge about history and entrepreneurship. And
well, doing a city is good as well as doing families.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes the area really the city, state, and the county.
Yeah, and we have David Bobzien with us, who is our councilman at large. And boy, that's a tough deal. You have to advertise to the whole city to get elected, right?
That's right. I get all the calls. That's right.
Did you win in a landslide last time? Or
I felt it was very humbling to get the support that I got this last time. No, it was great. I mean, I had served a section of the city in the legislature for a number of sessions, and so in 2016 it was the first time to be on the ballot for the whole city. So
you actually were there since 1914 or 2014. 2014.
Right. Appointed at the end of 2014.
You carry your age well if it was 1914.
Thank you.
But you actually filled a seat. Whose seat did you fill?
So when Mayor Sheevy was elected, she had been in the at-large seat, so she vacated that seat upon her election to the mayorship, and so there was an appointment process for that. And
there was.
And it was a great time and a great shift. We talk about these chapters in Reno history. The last issue that I had been involved in the legislature was the Tesla special session.
Oh, okay.
So I will never forget waking up the next morning from that thinking, oh my gosh, what have we unleashed on this community?
Yeah.
And so with all of the positive benefits, certainly all the challenges that we're going to have to deal with in this community with growth and infrastructure. And then the next thing you know, a couple months later, here comes this opportunity to go serve in local government and deal with all those questions. It was a great opportunity for me to shift focus.
How does the council get along? Pretty well. Is it all Democrats, or is it Democrats, Republicans, and independents?
Well, we are a nonpartisan position. We have a number of Democrats, registered Democrats that are on the council. The mayor herself is a nonpartisan. We do have one Republican, and I think we all get along very well. It's very different from the legislature in that respect.
Where does Hillary come from? Is she from here? Or is she from
she's from here. Yeah. So
she used to be a figure skater. Professional figure skater. Well, she was in the Olympics, or at least had tryouts for the Olympics.
She was on track.
And she had some health problems.
Yes.
And her sister actually gave her a kidney, I think, is what happened.
Oh, that's right.
Amanda, remember Amanda Sanchez? Used to be on Chen Lake. They're sisters.
That's right.
I don't know if I should divulge all that, but
no, it's well known.
Oh well.
Yeah, no, that's her family story. It's a good one.
So you guys are getting along. That's the main thing.
It counts, and we certainly we have vigorous debate on some of the more important issues, as we should. But I think overall the collegiality is very good.
Yeah, you're making history. You make history every day.
We're part of it, and it's great to be a part of it.
And Reno has always had, it seems like,
very dedicated people in government, and they want to do the right thing. And it seems like we have over the years. Like you talked about, we've had rebirths of Reno. We go way back, and had the casinos, and then we had the divorce trade, which we're probably still known for by some quarters. But then we had the big Bonanza days when Bonanza was being filmed up there, which brought a lot of people to the area, right? Yeah. And then now you're talking about the making history with technology, and that's huge. Not only out there at TRI, which is Tahoe Regional Industrial, but tell us what's happening downtown all of a sudden with technology.
Well, we just had our big announcement that Apple is opening a facility in downtown.
Yeah.
In an area that has been blighted in the past, and it is connected. It'll act as a receiving facility, basically, for a lot of the server hardware that is going out to the data center that they're building.
Wow.
And they're just building this capacity in support of their cloud computing services out at their facility further outside of town. But importantly, it's in Washoe County, unlike the Tahoe Regional Industrial Center, which is in another county. So the fact that we have that activity happening in our county is exciting.
Is that why they decided to put the building in downtown? Because they want to support Washoe County and Reno?
Well, it's probably a little more complicated than that. There's some incentives there that are in the mix. But because they have this facility in Washoe already, they're essentially doubling their investment. So they announced the other week an additional $1 billion in investment in this facility. So part of that is the downtown piece, which will be nice to have. But ultimately, it's the growth and the development of the data center that they have.
Is that big one on the left side as you're going out of town with the big black fence around it? That thing is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. But it's not part of TRI. It's part of Washoe County.
Thing. That's right.
That's great. So are they going to get involved in our 150th? Or
we'll see. We'll have to have that conversation with
them. What a great startup that would be for them.
That's right. Well, they are going to be involved in something that's happening that's somewhat connected to Reno 150. It's the Business Improvement District that we're talking about, which is going to be a new way for the management of downtown. You're going to see some official presence downtown to make it a more safe and inviting place for families and other folks.
Sure.
They're going to be called ambassadors. So it's different than just having police officers on the street. But you'll see these in other cities. Atlanta has a great one. Sacramento has one. Where you just have someone that can be a friendly face, that can answer questions, and if they see problems that are starting to happen, they can address those problems, connect people with services that they might need, that sort of thing. And so we're going to have a number of companies that will be partners with the city.
David, does the city and Washoe County have a pretty good continuing working relationship?
We do, and also the city of Sparks on a number of different issues, social service issues in particular. The county is, of course, the lead, but we work together with them.
It's a big county, goes all the way up to...
All the way to the Oregon border.
That's right. Now, you're talking about the ambassadors and the 150th. It brought to mind these opportunities, perhaps, to do walking tours in the downtown area, because a lot of people don't realize how many casinos we used to have on the different streets there, whether it be Virginia Street or West Street or Commercial Row. And it would really be kind of neat, I think, as an idea for the 150th to have somebody who really is expert at that area to take people around and say, right here was the Bank Casino or the California or whatever casino. Any ideas about that?
Well, and certainly, we're very appreciative of the Historical Reno Preservation Society and HARPS.
We've had them
and
on
all
the
the
show.
efforts that they do, and they'll be doing some of that.
They do that somewhat on a regular basis. I thought maybe they might expand that activity.
We'll be talking with them and hoping that they can do that.
It's all volunteer, of course.
It is, and that's always the thing. But we Alexis mentioned earlier, I'm the liaison to the Historical Resources Commission, which is the city citizen group commission that looks at preservation issues, and we just provided some awards to people that are active in the preservation issue, and so we do a lot of partnerships with HARPS on that front.
Yeah, that's great. We've had them on the show a couple of times. In fact, Roy's house, this house, was on their house tour, and we had all kinds of people in
David,
here.
Joe Curtis does the signs for us up in Virginia City.
Oh, okay.
I donate to them, and then they make up the historical sign and put it out in front of the building, the way what it looked like before then.
Yeah.
And then what you could do, too, would be to put a little tag on there that would tag back to a source that people could drive by it, and then it would tell you the history of it.
Yeah.
Well, and that is actually something that
like
the
that
HRC
helps
is
a lot.
looking at.
Yeah, I would love to see that downtown where they had more historical plaques like they do up in
Joe Curtis, he'd be happy
Virginia.
to talk to you about it. He has a sign company up there, too.
Yeah, and just have them on these different buildings. This was originally, there's one, what was the big sporting goods store downtown? It does, what was it? Sportsman's was downtown.
Sportsman's, yeah.
It's empty now.
Right.
Okay. And there is a little bit of information there, but that was kind of a big deal at a time. And there's other buildings down there that were used for other, original purposes. It'd be nice to have that there,
Right off
It
the
would be.
Keystone
It
there,
would
yeah.
be. And I think the other thing that you're starting to see as well is that as you're seeing some developers come in and repurpose some of these buildings, I'm hopeful, and we've seen some good signs of this, of the developers then also doing some of that signage and doing some of that interpretation.
Yeah.
For instance, when you go into the basement at the old post office, the opportunity to experience, here is the rebirth of this important structure that we've had downtown. Certainly the Patagonia building is another example of that. There's other development projects.
Where's the Patagonia building?
So they're stone's throw from the new Renaissance, which another project to be excited about downtown.
Yeah.
Right there on Center Street as well, just sort of kitty corner from the Pioneer.
Okay.
And that's a building that is important to Reno's history and has now been reborn as a really great story.
Yeah. So I hope to do more of that. But we did a show on the Lake Mansion the other day, and Mary Ellen, the director over there, was talking about the original location of the Lake Mansion, which was on California and Virginia, right there where the bank building is. Well, now when I drive by there, I can't help but think about what that must have looked like back in the day.
And then we think about it when it was at the south end of town for a little while.
That's right, at the convention center. And then it's moved 3 times actually, or 2 times. So those are great ideas. But I think the community is really going to get behind it. I really do, and they will build pride in all of us who live here. And I'm always hoping that people will take better care, if they have pride, that they'll take better care of their properties. It seems like back in 2008, and I mentioned this off air to you, that areas that used to be beautifully manicured, when that downturn happened and people had to leave their homes, and I don't know who bought them henceforth after that, but they don't seem to take as good a care of their yards. You have that one nice yard, and then you have another yard that's overgrown. That seems to be more of a problem these days than in the past. Do you see that too?
That's why I really moved to Reno, is because people really do take good care of their residences, and most of them look pretty good.
Well, you get up in the higher income areas, everybody has a landscaper, and it's well done.
But people take care of them.
Yeah, but I'm talking about down in more middle class areas.
We had those issues, and definitely during the Great Recession, we saw it all over the place. It's still there. Folks are still struggling, but I do think it's getting better.
Well, listen, we've got to take another break, and we're going to come back. I got some other questions I want to ask you about downtown Reno and thereabouts. Okay. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
Okay.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. A store full of the unexpected, with one of the largest beer and sports memorabilia collections on the West Coast. Vintage toys, casino and brothel memorabilia, Venton glassware, kerosene lamps from the 1800s, sun purple glassware, vintage neon, new and enlarged collections throughout the store. Have fun with the whole family and check out all the inventory in the store. Find the unexpected. That'll be treasured for all time at Somewhere in Time.
Deluxe Travel, locally owned and operating since 1991, is the home for travel to Mexico and Central and South America. The crew at Deluxe Travel is bilingual, trustworthy, thorough, and caring. They will do everything possible to make your dream vacation the best it can be. Now is the time to book for winter travel, so stop by the office at 100 California Avenue or call 686-7000. You can also check us out on our website at deluxetravelLTD.com.
At Deluxe Travel, we sell dreams. Come in and plan yours.
Let's face it, flooding is a fact of life. You may not be able to predict, but you can always prepare to avoid losses to structures, land, and even lives. Traditional protection like sandbags many times don't work. The new solution, trap bag flood and erosion systems. Low cost, great support, high stability, and load capacity. Easy to store and move with quick and easy installation. Protect your life, home, business, or land. For more information on this revolutionary flood and erosion system, contact Trap Bag today.
You have got to come and see our bridal designer collection here at Precision Diamonds. We bought our building, lower the overhead. That means everyday low prices to you.
Hi, I'm Paula.
And I'm Dan. We're the producers of the Tanner's Marketplace Antiques and Craft Shows at the Livestock Event Center on Wells Avenue.
I'd also like to tell you about our everyday location. We're at Somewhere in Time on South Virginia Street. We're Antique Antiques, booth number 46.
You'll find paintings by Nevada artists, collectible glass, vintage jewelry, Native American jewelry and baskets, antiques and unusual to unique items.
Find it all at Antique Antiques inside Somewhere in Time at 1313 South Virginia Street.
Come see us.
Hi, I'm Hugh Roy Marshall from the Marshall Mint, Virginia City and Reno, Nevada. Come to introduce you to the Let 'em Run Wild Horse Mustang Series, which depicts the wild Mustangs herd running free, mare and its foal, the wild Mustangs fighting for love. These ingots are a limited edition double-struck product on 1 troy ounce 3-pine silver and are only available at the Marshall Mint, Virginia City, or Reno, Nevada. Get your piece of history today.
Everything is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds.
We're back here for our last segment on Old Tales of Nevada, past and present for the week, and we're very happy to have with us and privileged to have with us our Councilman at Large, David Bobzien, and what a great job you're doing over there, David.
Thank you.
And I imagine you have that problem with your first name, last name.
I have friends that I've known for years that will occasionally slip, but it happens.
It's tough to have
What
unusual name.
nationality is that, Bob?
It's
not Bob's.
It's perfect. It's German. It's German.
It's German.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
It's one thing about the German heritage, boy. Those people are driven. That when you take on something,
well,
you
I balance it out with the Irish. So
By the way, you have a nice family here in town, right?
No, I have my own family.
Yeah, your own family.
My wife and 3 kids, but we're
twins.
All
you have
newcomers.
A set of twins.
8-year-old boys, and then we have a daughter that's 1. But we have family members that just left this morning. My in-laws going back to Minnesota, so we had them out here for our daughter's 1-year birthday. Got to celebrate Mother's Day.
There you go.
That was fun. So
super.
But we invite family in all the time to join us.
I noticed the council seems to be of a younger set.
We, myself and Councilman Delgado, who just had twins of his own.
Wow.
So we've got some.
Who's the oldest member on the council?
Who is the oldest? I would be hard.
Is there anybody over 50?
Yes, we do have some members over 50.
Okay.
I let's see. I don't even know if I'm the youngest one.
Really? People. I don't know how familiar they are with the city council on a day-to-day basis. Do you find that when you travel around? They may know their individual councilman.
Yeah, no, I think if anything, when I was serving in the legislature, people in my neighborhood certainly knew me. But, I find that I meet more people in this council position that want to talk about the city with me.
Oh, okay.
So, you
That's
know.
good. That's good. So now, getting back to the 150, we're just at the genesis of this. You had your kickoff, and it's going to go on for the whole year, all the way up to May 9th of next year, 2018. So I imagine you are open to suggestions and other events.
Absolutely.
How long does it take to have an idea and then put it into effect? I mean, if I wanted to come to you today and say, hey, I got a great idea for an event for this 150, I mean, how much planning has to be done? It just doesn't happen.
Well, it really depends. We have, and Alexis, who was with us earlier, has a very rigorous process for how special events are managed and programmed throughout the city, because so much of it, of course, is street closures and police presence and
who pays
other
for all
details.
That? The event originator?
Well, it depends, and it's a case-by-case basis. I mean, there's certain resources that are provided to some of the quality events that come to us and want to partner with us, because we recognize that is additive to the downtown environment,
like the River Fest
economy. Exactly.
Yeah.
We've been getting people downtown, people spending money. That's a good thing. But other ideas about perhaps the Reno 150 coin. That's something that we can just work on and see where that goes.
Right.
The Reno People Project was one example of one of those sorts of ideas that came about. And so it took some time to put that in place, but now that we have that group together that's reviewing the nominations and working with staff to suggest people for recognition, they're looking for additional nominees. So if you go to the website, reno.gov, there's a Reno People Project section of that site where people can submit and suggest.
And that's a fairly
think about so-and-so. They've got a great story. They did this in Reno.
So are you going to announce those winners like once a quarter or save them all till the end?
We're a little flexible. I think we're going to be steadily releasing them throughout the course of the year.
Keep the interest up.
Keep the interest up. Certainly not going to wait until the very end, but up until next May, we'll be releasing.
So it doesn't have to be a huge crowd-driven type of event. It can
Absolutely
be.
Not.
It just has to be historical in nature and something that's going to bring us pride in living here and that
pretty
sort
broad.
of thing.
Yeah, pretty broad.
So, well, good. That's great. So then you take it. Okay, somebody gives you an idea. Then it goes to Alexis. Is she the one that makes the final decision on it's a yay or a nay?
On the events, I mean, it depends on the actual idea. I mean, if it is an event idea, Alexis will take it and run with it. And as she sort of laid out some of the events that are happening in Reno in the year ahead, there's a wide diversity of
280 events. She said that's hard.
All sorts of different things.
Yeah.
Certainly Art Town is the big one that everyone thinks of, but whether it's Hot August Nights, whether it's this new event that we've had now, Slide the City, where it's a giant water slide.
Giant water slide.
Downtown Reno.
Yeah. How about a zip line right over, Virginia Street? That's what I tell you, Roy, all the time. He needs to put a zip line up on his Silverland property there. He'd have all kinds of folks.
Just like Las Vegas. One thing I wanted to mention to David while he's doing this interview is that for a number of years, I've tried to work to get to the state of Nevada to have an Office of Protocol tied in with Washington, D.C. and the embassies, so that when people are traveling here from abroad that are VIPs, that the Secret Service will provide an individual to take care of them. And this problem is not only in Reno, but it's also in Las Vegas and Carson City. Most everyone that is anybody that comes to Vegas has to travel anonymously because there isn't anybody here. Closest one is in San Francisco. So it's something for your councilman to think about. And if you help pressure the state with me and a few other entities, we may be able to get
that done. Yeah. That brings up another question I had about the festival, the 150th. Is we have a legacy about entertainment here with the Mapes Hotel, where we were on the property the other day when your kickoff happened. It was right on the Mapes footprint there. But you ever thought about having some of those iconic stars, if they're still around, come up to Reno?
Some discussion about that.
At the Pioneer or something like that.
There might be some opportunity.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
And you're right. I mean, that is an important part of our history. And,
so I'd love to see something like that too. So anyway, the 150th is coming along. It's going to be great. We look forward to it. But in the meantime, you have to be the councilman at large for the city of Reno.
Right.
Well, I always ask this question because I think people understand the job as a part-time position, right? It's described that way. But is it really?
I think we all dedicate full-time effort to the job. I mean, particularly right now when there's so much happening and when there's so many business licenses and development proposals and applications that are coming in. I mean, just the sheer volume of activity is requiring everyone's full attention. Which is
How do you do that? Because you have another job.
I do some outside projects, but I stepped away from a full-time engagement to take this job.
That's a sacrifice, though, isn't it?
Well,
Because you're giving her a lot of revenue here.
It works, but it's it's an exciting opportunity, and it was one that I did not want to pass up, I mean, particularly because of everything that's happening in Reno. The opportunity to be a part of this and help shape this next chapter.
I would imagine you get tons of phone calls, emails every day. It must be a plethora of stuff, right?
Yes.
Do you have a staff that helps work through that?
We do have staff on the council. We have liaison assistants that can kind of help us with constituent services in particular. But you're right; it's a constant stream of information and inputs that are coming to you, and you have to.
Do you talk to the mayor every day? Do you talk to the other council members every day?
Just about, yeah.
Do you have conference calls? Are you allowed to do that?
No, with the open meeting law, we do have to save our business and our deliberations to face-to-face public meetings that we have every 2 weeks on Wednesdays.
Is that kind of hard to do, or what?
It's different from the legislature, but it works.
It does.
I mean, we are in constant communication with our staff that can help us answer questions and do research so that we're preparing for those decisions that we have to make, whether it's on council or the other part of this that is sometimes lost on folks, and this is the same for the county and the city of Sparks, is we serve on all these other regional commissions, whether it's the Regional Transportation Commission, whether it's regional planning, TUMWA. I mean, all these other boards that we have to take care of that requires a lot of time.
And then you do your public meetings. You have the audience out there.
Right.
How do you receive do you like that? I imagine you're going to say, it's very important.
It's very important.
But do you get some good ideas, input from the public that you actually take? And
we do. And whether it's people coming to the podium during public comment or whether they're submitting information on email or phone call. For instance, I'm working on an issue right now looking at the possibility of a city ordinance to protect the owners of electric cars that are finding problems and difficulty in parking and charging spaces because someone else has parked in that space who doesn't have an electric car. So we're looking at that issue similar to disabled parking restrictions that are So that, as an example, it can be something as finite as that one issue. That
because you don't know everything. You're a councilman, but you have your own life and your own sphere of influence, and
you don't know everything. But one of the greatest parts about the job is that you have to learn so much. And there's so many different issues that you need to become involved in. And that's the rewarding part of the job.
What's besides the 150, what's the next favorite thing that you're working on that you think is going to be something that is going to be remembered by the folks in your community?
Well, the big one that we're working on at the city is the update to our master plan, which is something else that we want to plug. Reimagine Reno. We're going to be seeing that update process complete this fall. But then for me, the next project after that is the update to the regional plan. And back to why I said it was a great opportunity to go on council right after the Tesla special session, we have so much growth and development coming at us, and the decisions that we're going to make as a community in that regional plan update process are going to be very important.
Okay, well, we look forward to some great things from the City Council, not only with the 150, but everything else that's happening in Reno. And if it's any indication from the past, we know that's going to be good. So we appreciate your hard work, dedicating your full-time efforts to that, and thanks for updating us on everything today. And we're going to have you back as time goes on. In the meantime, we want to thank you, the audience, for being with us today to hear about our sesquicentennial. And we want to invite you back next week for another episode of Old Tales of Nevada, Past and Present. In the meantime, for you, Roy, and for David and myself, we want to wish you a great Nevada day, and we'll see you next week on Old Tales of Nevada, Past and Present.